Welcome to Millennium Computer's fast online tutorials for journal vouchers. A journal voucher, or JV for short, is an online document that allows you to transfer financial funds between your general ledger accounts. This session explains how you can view the status of your journal voucher documents and also how to use the other options on the page. From the Documents menu, you can select the Status Report option or open it from the Quick Launch menu with just one click. The report options open with three tabs: Filter Options, Advanced Options, and Pinned Reports. I will cover the filter options first, create a report, and then later in the tutorial I will cover the advanced options and the pinned reports. When you open this page, the filter options open by default and the page notes are located just below them. I'm going to scroll down to show you the page notes. The page notes section will only display if there are notes on the page. Any information in this section is specific to the status report and specific to your institution. You can add and edit notes if you have the admin role. You can hide the page notes if you don't want to view them. You can select one or more filter options to minimize the amount of documents in your list. For example, you can list all journal vouchers created by J. Smith, or a specific type of journal voucher document. For this control, I clicked in the box area to open the list, but you can also click the green plus sign to open the list. I am going to click the Clear Filter Options button because I don't want to use these selections. What I want to do is list all JV documents with a fund code that equals 10100, which I will enter and then click Execute Report. The list of documents open, or you can call it the data grid. I will likely use both of these terms interchangeably in this tutorial, as they mean the same thing. I will go over the columns in the data grid first, and then later the icons at the bottom. Documents that are either reversing or recurring types are grouped together in the list. And now I will discuss each of the columns. Click the underlined document number to open the JV in read-only mode. When a single JV is posted, a 0 is in the submission column. For an auto-reversing JV, a 1 is in the submission column when it is posted, and a 2 when it is reversed. For recurring JVs, the first one posted will have a 1 in the submission column, and for each subsequent posting, the number will go up by 1. Click the icon to open the document in PDF format. After it opens, you have the option to print it. You can attach a file to the document to make sure important information is transmitted with the JV. Search for the file on your computer, and then click the Upload button to attach the file to the JV document. You can open the file from here or delete it if you no longer want it. There is an asterisk beside the icon to show the document has a file attached. You can only reverse a single JV that has already been posted to your ERP. When you click this blue arrow, a copy of the JV is created with the debits and credits reversed. You will then have to go through the regular process to approve and post it. This is the date the JV was created, or the dates it will be created if it is a recurring JV. This is the date the JV will reverse if that option was selected. This is the date the JV was posted to your ERP. The next column tells you who created the JV. In the Approval Queue column, if you are a central approver and the approver in this column is a blue hyperlink, you can change the approver for the JV. Click the link to go to the approval page to select a different employee to approve it. If the JV has been cancelled, you can hover over the balloon icon to view the reason and the comments. You can make an exact copy of the JV document. After clicking the icon, the copy page opens. This was covered in the previous tutorial about the JV document icons. If the size of your screen limits what you can see, there are a few things you can do to see more data on the page. By clicking the arrow on the extreme right of the JV title bar, you can hide the fast header at the top of the page and gain almost an inch of space to work with. Note how 20 of the 51 documents are listed on the page, but you can only see 17 of them. To show more JVs, you can adjust the grid height slider. Now you can see all 20 JVs, however there is still usable space at the bottom of the screen. What you can do is change the amount of documents that show on the page. Now 50 of the 51 documents are listed, but you can still only see 20 of them. You can increase the size of the data grid a bit more by clicking the grid height arrows, or use a slider like you did before. Now 23 JVs are showing on the screen, and depending on the size of your monitor, you can adjust the grid height slider to show even more documents. I have set the data grid back to the way it was before so I can show you a few more things. However, I will keep the fast header hidden. You can export the data on the page into PDF format, into an Excel spreadsheet, or an XML format. Custom column filters are different than filter options in that you can filter on the items in the column. Click the heading for the column you want to filter on. I want to list only documents created by Test 1, so I'm going to click Apply Custom Filters. You can search for items that are like, not like, equal, or not equal to what you enter. I will use the default of like. I am going to type Test 1 and then click Apply. And now, only documents created by Test 1 are listed. I will remove the custom filtering for this column. In this list, you can also sort by column type. Please note that the columns that can be sorted from the heading is an institution setting. I'm going to sort the posted date column ascending. Note the column now has an arrow indicating it was sorted ascending. There's also another way to sort by any of the columns on this page, and I will show you that shortly. I am going to remove the column sorting. You can also remove a column if you don't want to display it in the data grid. And now that the column is gone, how do you get it back? Remember at the beginning of the tutorial when I was showing you the report options, there was a tab called Advanced Options. I'm going to open that now and show you how to get the column back. To reopen the report options, you can do one of the following three things. At the bottom of the page, click the Show Report icon. At the top right, click the Show Options button, or click anywhere on the Report Options title bar. I am going to click the title bar. Click the Advanced Options tab. Because I hid the submission column, the checkbox is not selected and the list for the column sort doesn't show either. I am going to click the checkbox for the submission column so it will display in the data grid again. You also have the option to select all columns or no columns. Previously I mentioned that you could sort by columns a different way, and this is where it is, in the Advanced Options section. I am going to sort the effective date column ascending. Note that the column name is then added to the sort order box on the right. And now I'm going to run this report. The submission column is displaying again, and the effective date column has an arrow showing it is sorted in ascending order. We have gone over selecting filter options, column sort options, and advanced options. And now let's say you want to use these particular options on a regular basis, but don't want to go through the process of selecting them every time you want to run this report. You're probably wondering by now where the Save icon went that you used to use, and may have figured out that is what the Save as Pinned Reports button is for. By clicking this button, the filter options open with a dialog box located below the controls. Actually, the filter options expanded because if you scroll down, you will see the JVs are still on the screen. Because I filtered on Fund 10100, that is what I will call this report. I also sorted the effective date column in ascending order, and I will use that as the description. You can make this report public if you want others with access to the JV status page to see this report. Save this pinned report, and then you can close the two yellow message boxes. And now I am going to look at the Pinned Reports tab to see what happened. The report we call to Fund 10100 is listed with another public pinned report. There are also two other reports in the top section. Those are your personal pinned reports that only you can see. You can mouse over the icon to see the description. When you mouse over the More Info icon, it lists when it was created, the last time it was executed, and how many times it was executed. From the Pinned Reports tab, you can execute the report. You can also execute the report and create it in PDF, Excel, or XML format. Another option is to email any of these formats to another user. You can also delete the report from here or edit it. And by edit, I mean edit the name and the description. For more detailed information, you can click the Context-Sensitive Help icon.